Story number 1. The magic of his vision and a lawnmower. My brother Chris, after having completed his trade studies at Shawville's Pontiac Protestant High School, and after having learned all the ins and outs of motor repair from our father, easily merged his after-high school graduation life into a career as a pretty darn good small engines mechanic at Dad's garage, Gauthier's garage. Chris soon became the expert or go-to guy for lawnmower repair. He was skilled at fixing most motors, but lawnmowers were one of his specialties. Somehow, and probably on a trade-in towards a new mower, Chris acquired a second-hand mower from a customer. This was quite normal because brand new Lawn Boy and Briggs and Stratton mowers were sold by our father, and often people made trade-ins. Traded-in small engines were repaired and sold as second-hand. Concurrently, or around the same time that Chris acquired this mower, I was still in school and was in my first year or perhaps second year of high school. In grades 7 and 8, I still had no clue about what to do with my life after high school, or even if I would or wanted to eventually work for Dad someday as well. Like my brothers Chris, Bernie, and Brian. Every high school student needs to buy something for school eventually, or wants to be able to join chums for some fun at a party, or a store, or restaurant, or whatever. Hence, I believe we can all acknowledge that when going to high school, a pupil does indeed need a little spending cash. As such, Chris, knowing this fact, decided to gift his second-hand trade-in mower to me. He had envisioned for me a great teen job opportunity and decided he wanted to help his baby brother get into the workforce. He explained that all I had to do to have his trade-in mower for free was to learn from him how to repair it under his guidance. He was willing to teach me how to fix a lawnmower and how to keep it in good repair. Once fixed, he wanted to encourage me to then use this mower and advertise my services as a grass cutter around Otter Lake to get some good clients and pick up a bit of spending cash, or even better to have cash to start growing my bank account. Oh, how delighted I was to visualize that dream, the dream that Chris saw in my future. It was thanks to Chris and this new business venture of his that would finally put some bucks in my pockets. First, however, was the required repair work. My brother so patiently helped me take apart the machine. As we did so, he explained what to do and in what order to do it, so that I could see how an engine was put together. These efforts enabled me to examine each part and to check each for damage. We started with the removal of the blade from underneath the mower's deck. After examination, Chris advised me that the cutting blades were too worn out for future use. I would need to buy a new blade from Dad to replace this one. However, instead of me having to pay Dad for this part, Chris used his salary to buy it for me. What a guy. What a good brother. Next, we were to tackle the motor or engine itself. We examined and cleaned each part as we were disassembling it. He taught me all about the starter casing, the engine block, the pistons, piston rings, the carburetor, and the exhaust system or muffler. These parts form the core of a mower, but these are just a few of the parts that make up an engine. I had a lot to learn, but I had a good teacher. He helped me to notice and determine that I would definitely need a new muffler and a new spark plug, but everything else looked in fair shape. As before, when he had gifted me the cutting blade out of his own small salary, he told me that if I worked hard to make money for myself by cutting grass, the muffler and spark plug needed would equally be gifts to me from him. I hugged him and he hugged me back. And as such, from every day forward, he and I would call these special hugs his Chrissy Bear hugs. Finally, under his keen watch, he taught me how to properly reassemble my lawnmower, gaskets, seals, and all. At last, the moment of truth. Chris exclaimed, "Well, brother, this is your lawnmower, so are you not going to pull the starter cord and see if it works?" Excitedly, I did just that, and the motor roared to life. I was so happy. I, with Christopher's encouragement, went directly to our family's backyard and cut the grassy hill. Chris teased that since I now had my own mower, I would have to always help keep the grass nice around the house. But equally important, I had to solicit paid work from regular clients. After all, he said, working for free to help out around the house is required work, but getting paid to do similar work is just a bit better. As such, I acquired 2 to 3 lawn cutting jobs that summer and the summer next. I had the privilege to cut the grass at our former mayor's home, Mr. and Mrs. Basil Quayle's property, and at the Pine Grove Cottages lots, which was owned and operated by the Landos for a few years. Father Stephan, our parish priest, also hired me from time to time to cut the grass of both cemeteries and around the church. Hence, with my brother Chris' encouragement and help to repair my very own lawnmower, and to equally encourage me to pursue a mini career as a grass cutter, He gave me my very first footings in finding business opportunities and in being inspired to pursue more learning, especially to fix things. Thank you, Chris, for your loving help and support. How did we celebrate this venture? Well, once I had some cash in my pocket, we went directly to Kearns's ice cream stand uptown and ordered 2 large milkshakes. We drank the cold, sweet treat slowly and enjoyed the memory of our time well spent together.